Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm here at one of my many undisclosed locations, and the reason why is because we have this 2020 Mazda MX-5, better known as the Miata. This one though is the club trim, and it's got all the goodies that you want as a car enthusiast. But before we dive into this Miata, let's talk about what the MX-5 really stands for. It really touches on the earliest of years of true sports cars. That light, nimble, not a lot of horsepower, but boy, are they nimble and are they connected to the driver. Now for 2019, there were a lot of changes, especially underneath the hood, that even made the Miata that much more of a performing car. And we'll get to those many things once we pop the hood. For 2020, there's been some extra additions that you know I'm also gonna mention as well. One thing is for certain, this polymetal gray metallic color is absolutely stunning on the curves of this MX-5. So let's go ahead, dive into the 2020 Mazda Miata MX-5 Club and see what makes it the best handling of all the sports cars. Right off the bat, the lines, this generation that debuted all the way back in 2016. So it's been 4 years since the design, still looks fresh. I remember when I first saw it, I was like, wow, that's got some like Jaguar F-type styling cues. I really love the size and shape of the headlight design. Full LEDs on the headlights. You're gonna have also your LED daytime running lamps. Really love the way the hood kind of curves around them. So nicely done. You drop down, you got some lower fog lamps, and they're also kind of fogged out to help them blend in a little bit nicer. What the great news is, nothing fake on this car. Everything has a function and a purpose. When we come across that open mouth grille, you have that beautiful Mazda logo. Look at the way the hood just kind of waterfalls down into the front fascia. Little bit of gloss black. Everything else is going to be flat. Nice wide opening to maximize airflow into the radiators. On the club trim, you're going to get the additional front lip splitter. This is going to help give you downforce, which is going to increase your steering and stability. But it's also going to help scoop air into the front radiator and try to stop air from going underneath the car, because that would create lift. We want downforce. If you notice, really nice cutouts, gives it a great shape to it. We get up onto the hood, nice simple body lines, one on each side, just kind of curve over to the edge and then curve back and disappear. It's almost like there's not a straight line on this car. Everything's got a nice flow to it. It's like they carved it from a single piece of clay. We come around the bend, what are we working with on the club trim? Now this one has the optional BBS wheels. So it's a 17-inch wheel, forged aluminum, which means it's a lighter wheel than cast. It's gonna be less rotating mass. It also has the Brembo brake package on it. So you're gonna have those 4-piston, bright red Brembo calipers, gonna help clamp down on that rotor, fully ventilated rotor, to slow down this Mazda Miata, this MX-5. BBS, this brand is so synonymous with awesome wheels, just like Brembo is synonymous with awesome brakes. It's a 205 on the width, 45 series sidewall. Behind these fenders on this club trim, you have Bilstein dampers. So Bilstein shock absorbers, all 4 corners. They also reworked the springs. They also reworked the anti-roll bars. So this club Miata handles even better than the standard Miata, which is a really great thing, especially if you're gonna have this awesome track look. You want it to definitely perform, especially if you do take this to the track, and I highly recommend you do. Fenders, great shape to it, kind of has a nice flared out look, comes into the side marker light. Look at how they put a nice body indentation, kind of sink it in a little bit. Along the bottom, you have that nice side sill extension, ties in perfect with the low lip splitter. Black on the mirror caps. Also the way they black out the window frame, I think is so smart. Gives it a nice clean look. We got the top down. That's what the Miata is all about. And this top is so easy to put up and down. It takes literally seconds. We get to the rear, same great setup at the rear. Love the way this is rear wheel drive. So we're gonna be trying to get the power to the ground from those rear wheels. One of the things I am gonna zonk though is this guy right here. Why do we have this? We have a shark fin antenna. Get rid of this radio control looking antenna. Top down, looks clean. Coming off the back, you have a nice slim and trim Third brake light, we have the addition of the gloss black trunk lid spoiler. Love the design of the taillights. Mazda does some of the best taillights. I'll say that until the day I die. LED, beautiful lighting. We work our way down. You have your reverse lamps nicely integrated. That gloss black to tie in the front splitter, the side sill extensions, and then across this lower bumper area, you have your twin outlet exhausts. Would be nice if it was a slash cut. I think a slash cut would just give it a little bit more flavor. Now, one thing that was all new for last year, besides what's underneath the hood, is the backup camera. This is mandated by the Department of Transportation. If you notice, they kind of just put it there. It hasn't really been blended in very nicely. But you know, that's what this car is about. It's just about the bare bones. MX-5 badge. It does not say Miata anywhere on this vehicle. Let's go ahead though, pop the hood and see what's powering this MX-5. All right guys, we got the hood pop. You do have a prop rod, but on the MX-5, it kind of makes sense because we're trying to save some weight off of this little tiny sports car. You could see on the Club edition trim level, you have the additional strut tower bracing on both sides. Very nicely done to stiffen up the front end of the business. Underneath that hood, surrounded by all that bracing, that is going to be that naturally aspirated 2-liter inline 4. So updates from 2019 obviously continue. You have a forged crank, forged pistons, and forged connecting rods. Gives you 181 horsepower, 151 pound-feet of torque. Redline has been bumped up to 7,500 RPM. You got a limited slip diff out back, which is worth everything. And then 0 to 60, if you know how to go and roll through your gears, because you could have the 6-speed manual like there is on this one, or a 6-speed automatic. If you know how to roll through your gears, 5.7, 0 to 60. And then MPGs, 26 in the city, 34 on the highway. That just makes perfect sense, because not only are you going to be able to go out and enjoy the true essence of driving, you're also going to be able to get a maximum return on your MPGs. But we talked about that 2-liter, which first of all, underneath the hood, it looks good. That cam cover, this nice aluminum cam cover, it looks drop dead sexy. It really does. Very simple. Everything else, not a lot of plastic. That's the sort of stuff that I like to see. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this MX-5 and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside the 2020 MX-5, that Club trim. I know you're at that point, you're like, Joe, how much is this thing? So being the Club trim with the Brembo brakes, the BBS wheels, and you're gonna see in a few seconds, Recaro seats, you're looking at an MSRP right at $35,000. Let's see what else you get for the money. Now to the door panels, I love the way on the Miata Club, how the color, that poly gray metallic, pours into the door panel across the top there. Nicely done. I love the leather with the white contrast stitching. Armrests are really small, but you're really not going to be using it in this vehicle. Some faux carbon fiber trim around the switchgear. Nothing too crazy. Kind of just gives it a nice little design element to it. Now, when you go from the door panel to the dash, it is hard up here. It's a little softer on this center section. I love the AC vents. And one thing that they did very smart is they maximized their real estate. This AC vent and the one that I just pointed out is for your passenger. This one and the one over on the other side of the steering wheel is for the driver. You have a 7-inch infotainment system screen. It is touch screen, which is nice. And you also have that direct drive knob, which you could go through the plethora of different options. Now, new for 2020, Club trim and Grand Touring get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto standard. You're also gonna get all of the safety features, Mazda's safety features, all standard for 2020, and they changed some of the font, like on the badging and whatnot. You drop down, you got your hazards, you got your start-stop button. Very rudimentary on the AC controls. It's no dual climate or anything like that. You do have heated seats, 2 USBs, a nice little place for a Snickers or a Twinkie, and then here is where the magic happens. This is that wonderful 6-speed manual transmission. It was updated for 2019 to give it a little bit better throw action. Very, very crisp, very mechanical. It really is a little piece of heaven. Let me show you the reverse camera out back. So I'll throw it into reverse. There's our camera. It is on the grainy side, but I don't care. This car is a ton of fun. You have a good old-fashioned e-brake with that same stitching, which is nice. Even the shift knob just fits perfect into the palm of your hand. There's that direct drive knob. If you don't want to touch the screen, you could go ahead and select through the knob here. You could go into your navigation, you can hit the home button. Soft on this little tiny armrest, you open it up and there's where you can put your Skittles. So when you have the top down, you see the rainbow, taste the rainbow. That makes sense. Put that down. You're also gonna have another actual glove box where you can put your gloves in here, and this is where I have the cup holders. Now they upgraded the cup holders for 2019. So this 2020, you actually can put them here, or you have the place here for the passenger to put them. I say, listen, have your drinks before you get in or after you get out, and just leave that all in there. Close it up. Seats, piece of heaven. One piece back, Recaro, Alcantara, the stitch work, the leather, it's totally phenomenal. Feels great. Manual seat controls for the passenger and the driver. One thing to kind of point out for you is that your passenger does have this big, huge area where the transmission, they raise this part of the floor pan for the transmission and everything. So just something to be in the know about if you're gonna buy this car. Don't think that your passenger has it perfect. You actually have more room on the business end. Let me show you how the top goes up. Piece of cake. You just pull on the switch. You don't need an electric motor. Boom, done. You could actually do that at 35 miles an hour. You want it down? Boom. That's it. Fits great. A lot of people are always concerned, am I too tall? Am I too tall? I'm 6 feet tall, and I'm telling you that I could probably get another inch in here, maybe 2, and still you don't have any wind buffeting when you have the side windows up. It's actually a pleasurable driving experience. But why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this Miata. All right, guys, business time. You know, sliding into the seat of this car is like putting on a perfect set of gloves or shoes. It feels that great. Manual controls, like I said, you can slide the seat forward and back and also tilt the back. New for 2019, which is also on this 2020, of course, is you have a tilting and telescoping steering wheel. You have your Mazda iSense safety technology like the lane keep assist, the blind spot monitoring. Steering wheel, it could be a little thicker. I wish the steering wheel was a little thicker, but I love the contrast stitching that they have. Very, very thin on the spokes. And then the dash is just perfect. It makes sense. You have the nice large tank in the center. Over to your left is a digital readout with a bunch of information there. Coolant temp, fuel, your range, and then all the way to the right is your speedometer. Everything else that you don't need, guess what, is not there. And you also have a gear indicator, which is great as you're shifting through that 6-speed. Well, why don't we check out the trunk and see, can you fit anything larger than a peanut back there? All right, guys, for 2020, you do have your upgraded key fob, your Mazda key fob. A little bit larger, has a nice feel to it. We're gonna pop the trunk, so you just hold the button. You could also pop it from the inside. And there's a button right there. And if you don't believe me, I'll do it. A lot of people say I don't know where the buttons are. Watch. Open it up. Here's the space that you have in here. Now, I do have a backpack and my lunch bag, but you know what? It's actually usable space. Can you go and do a Costco run and get 12 cases of water and a big old barrel of mayonnaise? No. I don't know why you'd want a barrel of mayonnaise, but you still have plenty of usable space. Top up or top down, same amount of space, which is great. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the best part of this sports car. Let's take it for a spin. All right, guys, we're in the 2020 Mazda Miata, the MX-5. I got the top down, obviously. I'm not gonna do any normal driving in this review. This car is all about the twisties, especially the Club with the Bilstein dampers. You know, the engines, the changes that they made to the engine for 2019, obviously carrying over into 2020. I really wanna show you how agile this thing is and how you don't need a ton of horsepower to have a good time behind the wheel. This thing is like connected to your frontal lobe. But here we go. First gear, let it rip a little bit. Second, little chirp, chirp-a-derp. All the way up to 7,500 RPM. Look at this. Like you're on rails. Really, really nice the way she just transfers the weight. And that's the thing I love about the Miata. She really balances her weight from left to right super well. Wind buffeting is not an issue. I got the side windows up. I know you can hear me just fine. It really where the height of the windscreen and the windscreen frame just sends that air right over your head. These Recaros are a dream. They really, really are. And the driving position, the way the pedals are oriented are perfect for heel-toe downshifting. Everything is spot on the money. I want to let the traffic in front of us kind of pull some distance so I could really let her rip through these twisty turns and show you just how she likes to dance. But let's do it all over again, right? First gear, on throttle, yeah, here we go. Second gear, a squeaking tire is a happy tire. I got 4 happy tires right now. Those Brembos feel great. Nice, naturally aspirated. Watch how we carry our speed, look at this. Little bit of vulture action in the street. We gotta watch out for the vultures. Back on throttle. You just carry the speed. On the brakes, heel-toe downshift. Nice, second gear. The gearbox is so on the money with how the gates are spaced out. It's very, very mechanical. The updates they did for 2019 really, really show just in that nice mechanical feel. And with a car like this, if you don't know what you're doing, it magnifies your mistakes because you don't have the horsepower to correct whatever mistakes you made through the twisty bits. And it's almost like surfing. You just carry that speed and go through the twists. It really is a wonderful sensation. All right, guys, here we go again. I'll try to be a little quieter, but you'll see the smile on my face. Carry the speed. Like dancing, I love it. Yeah, watch out, vultures. They ain't coming for me. That's what I'm talking about. It just puts a big smile on your face. This car is a blast. It really allows you to showcase what you know about getting through the twisty bits. And the Bilstein dampers are worth the money. Going the club route with the BBS wheels, with the Brembo brakes is really the way you want to go in this car. Really, really is. All right, guys, we definitely got to go through these twisties one more time. On throttle, here we go. Yeah, chirp them. So balanced, this chassis, so balanced. Look at this. Nice. Carrying the speed. Heel toe in the third. Nice. Look at that. Wonderful. Yeah. Just let the R's carry. On the brakes. Look at this second gear. Nice, look at this. Just such a balanced car. I love this thing. I really, really do. And then when you want to put the top up, let me show you how easy it is to put the top up. At speed, you can do it up to 35 miles an hour. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, we got the top up now. All right, guys, I just want to give you an idea. We got the top up, the windows are up, but with the cloth top, obviously you're gonna get a ton of wind noise in here, but it's just one of those things that you kind of just put up with because you understand that this is the epitome of a sports car. Cloth top, top is up, you're gonna get wind noise, but boy, like you saw with the top down, really just gives you that nice open air feel. Nothing comes close except for a motorcycle. And that's when you're wearing a helmet, of course. Having the convertible allows you to not have to wear a helmet. At least out here while you're driving, you do a track day, you're gonna need to wear one. But I wanted to go through the twisty bits with the top up just to give you another little reference point, okay? right, guys, here we go. We're gonna go through the twisty bits. You and me, here we go. 1, 2, 3, on throttle. 3rd gear, just let her wind out. 4th gear. Here we go. On the brakes. Little heel toe downshift. Nice. Watch how we carry the speed. Watch this. Carry the speed. Nicely done. Another downshift in the 2nd. Carry, carry. 3rd gear. Back on the brakes. Feeling good. Downshift and heel toe. Nice. Just the sound of that naturally aspirated engine. Great intake sound. Wonderful. Absolutely, positively wonderful. Love this car. Ton of fun. Just glad I could share with you, that's for sure. All right, guys, here we go. Top up, 2nd gear on throttle. Love this sound. Just carry that speed. Love this road, and this car is just perfect. Look at this. Here we go. Nice. Just the way she just throws her weight around is perfect. The little weight that she has. Look at this. Nice. Just holds the line so well. That limited slip diff, really getting the power to the ground, having only 2,300 pounds, it just feels so good. And that's the thing is like, the car actually has just a little bit of body roll to it, but it does it on purpose to get that weight to the outside of whatever turn you're in. And that just allows you to hunker down. She holds the line. Obviously, the BBS wheels being forged, lighter rotating mass, and those, like I said, I'm gonna say it again, the Bilstein dampers are worth every single penny. Everybody wants to add horsepower, suspension, brakes, and tires. Add so much performance on a twisty road or a road course, more so than just adding horsepower. And that's the truth, Ruth. All right, guys, one more time. Let me slow down a little bit here. Like I said, these Recars, perfect balance of bolstering, comfort, even when you're driving down the straight and narrow road, it really does provide great comfort. They're not too tight. 2nd gear, on throttle, just let the R's climb. Here we go. So easy to heel toe downshift. Wonderful. Hopefully this gave you a nice overall feel of what a corner carver is all about. This thing does the business, the purest form of that term, sports car. But we're gonna get back to our undisclosed location, wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been another amazing time with this Mazda MX-5 Club. Definitely gotta thank everybody at Mazda USA for allowing Rady's Rides access to this press fleet vehicle. It just really brings out the true essence of driving. It shows that you don't need 700 horsepower to have a good time behind the wheel. Nice, light chassis that's well set up. We got the Bilstein shock absorbers. We got the BBS wheels, Brembo brakes, Recaro seats, and that slick shifting 6-speed makes this a little slice of sports car heaven. But if it's cars like these that you want to see on Rady's Rides, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Rady's Rides merch. Got to get at the Big Guns McGee. It was a tight fit for him in this Mazda, but he still had a smile on his face. So thank you, Tom, for your hard work. And just like always, I'll see you on the next ride.